Hello and welcome back to Wee Woolly Wonderfuls. We're now going to be starting Amy's leg, so we're going to continue with the instructions. So legs, make 2. Beginning at the hoof using your second colour, so it's the darker gold, or the white if you're doing one of the pink or blue versions. We're going to do a magic circle with 6 double crochet stitches. So if you remember, we wrap the wool around twice. You can use whichever fingers you want, however you want to hold the wool. Some people hold it like this. You can have it over there. It's whatever feels comfortable. Once you've practiced a little bit, you'll find what's comfortable for you. So we're going to carry on with the magic circle like we did before. So under the front 2, grab the yarn, pull it through, over the top, pull it through. So that, if you remember, is our slip knot. So that does not count as a stitch. So now we need to do 6 double crochets. So we're going to go under, grab the yarn and pull it through, over, grab the yarn and pull it through. And that is our first stitch. So we'll repeat that 1, 2, 6 times, 3, under, over. It seems so slow to start with, but once you get the hang of it, you'll find you're just whizzing round and getting done really quickly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have 6 stitches. And if you remember, we can take our fingers out now, hold the base very tightly, and try pulling both of them. That one won't budge. That one won't budge either. I'll try the other one again. One will. That's it. Hold it firmly is the trick. Pull it until the other loop disappears. So that's until that's gone. So it's there. And then we pull the loop, pull that one right through. And that's as simple as that, our magic circle. We can pop our marker on. Popping that on the last stitch, so you can see exactly where we put it. Not on the loop on your hook, on the last stitch there, so we know which it is. Our next line of the pattern to follow is increase 6 times. So very similar to how we started the body. So we're going to do that. If you're not sure, again, which is the first stitch, I'll try and show you close up. This part is not a stitch. If you can see, it just looks like a couple of threads wrapped around each other with that sticking out. We're going to put that to the back, of course. It's on the inside. It's the first very well defined V, and you will seem to have to stretch round. There is quite a gap, but we're going to go into the first well defined V. If you're not sure, again, count backwards. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There it is. So we're going to pop our hook into right under the V. We're going to do 1 stitch and then go back into the same one for a second. And we're going to repeat that 6 times. So this is our third one. So we're going to go in, under, over, and then back in the same stitch. You can see where I'm going in there. Lift it up again. If you can see, we've got a stitch there that we've already done. We're going back into that same hole. And then the next one. You may need to pause it again if you're still quite new with this. I won't go too slowly on every round because you can just pause it, and we will have about 20 hours of videos if we do everything extremely slowly and do every single instruction. We would be here a long time, but you can just rewind it. So now we have our 12 stitches. We've moved our marker to the last stitch again so we don't lose track, and we're going to follow line 3, which is double crochet and increase, and we're going to repeat that 6 times. So I'll show you how that works if you don't remember from last time. So that's our first stitch. So we're going to do a double crochet in there, and then in the next stitch we're going to do an increase. So 1, 2 stitches in the next one, and then 1 stitch in the next one, and then 2 in the next one. I find it quite easy just to repeat to myself all the way around. 1, 2, 1, 2. So 1 stitch. And then 2 stitches with this. So 1. Again, if you're not sure, lift it up like that so you can see we've worked that stitch, the next clear V. So I'm going to do 2 in that stitch, then 1, and then 1, 2. Just take it to the end of the round, but again, pause it here if you need to do this a little bit slower. Take your time. And then our last 2 stitches, so we're going to double crochet in the first one and then do an increase into the second one. We're going to move our marker, so we've moved it to there, And then our next line is line 4. This is the one I need to to show you this is new, we're going to do back loop only stitch into all 18 stitches. So that means in every single stitch all the way around, we're going to double crochet into the back loop only. If you ever see the instruction FLO, front loop only, that means we use the front loop only. As we've been working so far, we've been using both loops. We've been going in the whole of the V-shaped stitch. So we've been using both. So for the front loop only, just so that you can show you, you're going to use that front part. That's what we used when we did the decrease. But for the back loop only, we're using the back part. So just the back strand, so just one thread of wool. So we're leaving the front one alone and just working in the back. But apart from that, it's identical. So we're going to go and pull through, under, and then over and pull through. So then we're going to go into our next stitch here, under and over. Just concentrate on this round because it's quite easy to slip back into the old pattern of doing the whole V. Oops, I'll round over a little bit. So I'm going to go in, over, under, over. And we're just going to keep on doing that in the back loop all the way around. You may find sometimes it says the pattern will use the back loop only for the full round, and then you could have double crochets and increases, in which case the double crochet is the normal one, we're just working one stitch. If we're doing a back loop only increase, we would go in the back loop only for one stitch, and then we would go back in the back loop only for the second stitch. So just an increase, but you're just literally using the back loop instead of both loops. So quite easy once you get the hang of it. And you may be thinking, well, what's the point of this? Why we're doing this stitch? The reason is it gives a nice defined edge. So it shows it gives a sharper edge to the edge of the hoof. Gives it more definition. Instead of just being rounded, the hoof has a nice sharp corner to it. I will show you exactly what I mean. So because we haven't worked the front loops, your pattern look a bit different. If you see this row here, the circle with that nice line all the way around like a circle, those are all our front loops. So it looks like there is a line all the way around it. And what happens is, when we go and we hold it like this, the base of our hoof will be flat, as you can see, with a nice defined edge, like that. And as we're working now, it'll more straighten up like that. So we've got a flat top and a defined edge, so it's much more hoof shaped. You can cut that a little bit shorter if you want, if it gets in your way. Don't cut it right to the bottom just in case it unravels, but cut it a little bit shorter. Otherwise it can sometimes just be a little bit fiddly and be in the way. So we've done the row of back loop onlys for the whole amount. There is, it just says see figure C, so when it says to look at an image, it just gives you something to look at so you can see the shape. I try and show things wherever I can, just to make it that little bit clearer. So the next round, round 5, is double crochet. So that is simply, we're not in the back loops anymore, that was just the last round. We're just going to do the normal double crochets, which is under both. So I'm going to whiz around this a little bit, because we know how to do double crochets now, hopefully. So we're going under, over, all the way around, under both of the loops. So we're going to do that full loop. So full round, just one in each. And again, look at the numbers in brackets at the end. That shows that we're still going to have the same number of stitches, so we're not doing any increases or decreases. So one in each. Move your marker. And the next round, round 6, we're going to be doing a double crochet and then a decrease 6 times. So we're going to actually be reducing it now. This is to shape the hoof up a little bit into the leg, which is narrower. So it gives a bigger, flatter shaped hoof on the bottom of our giraffe. So let's follow that round and then I'll show you how to do the colour change. So we're going to do a double crochet, so one normal stitch, and then a decrease. If you can't remember how to do that, I'll show you again. So we'll lift it up, bit with the hole that's lifting up, that's the stitch we've worked in. So our next stitch with a decrease will catch the front loop of the next 2 stitches, so one and then the other. So we've got the front loop of the next 2 stitches. Grab the yarn and pull it through both can be a little bit fiddly. And now we're left with 2 on our hook, and we'll go over again and pull it through. So then we're going to do a double crochet and then another decrease. We're going to do front loop, through, pull through both those loops. So we've got 2 loops on and pull it through. Do be careful, once you've done a decrease it can be a little bit more fiddly. It's easy to go into that one. It's a little bit awkward to get into, but we've worked that one already. Look, you can see that's got thread under it, it's been worked, wool under it. So it's the next one that hasn't been, nice big clear V. So just be careful, because you can sometimes get to the end and wonder why you've still got the same number of stitches. It's probably because you must be working into the one you have, just one of the ones you've just decreased, rather than the next stitch. So after decrease you do have to reach across a little bit. If in doubt, count your stitches as you go around, count backwards from the end, see how many you should have. So we're doing a double crochet and then and we're going to do a decrease. So we've done a double crochet and a decrease all of the way around. And to move our marker again, now you can see a bit more the hoof shape. See how it's flattened? You want to keep that flat when you stuff it. Don't stuff it so that it's poking through when it's all round. It's giving it the wrong shape. We need it flat. So round 7, I'm going to take you through. So round 7 is a double crochet. So we're going to double crochet that just as normal and then change to the main colour. If it said change to main colour before we started it, we'd do it before we started the round, but it says double crochet 12 and then it's changed to the main colour, just to make that clear. So we're going to just do a normal double crochet round. So pause me if I'm going too quick. Double crochet all of that way around, 1 in each, and you'll see now how it's taking shape. It's all about giving it a really nice shape so that you can see it's supposed to be a lovely hoof. Oops, the last one's going to form with our marker. Now we're going to stop at the last stitch. On the front of the pattern it does give you notes on colour changing to help. On the stitch before a colour change, make the final yarn over in the new colour, and then we're going to double knot the old and the new to secure. So I'll explain what that means. So we're going to start the colour change the stitch before. So we've worked the stitch before, we haven't worked the last stitch. So we're going to go under and pull it through, and the final yarn over is the second stage of the stitch. So I'm going to grab my new yarn and do the second part of the stitch, the yarn over. Look, I'm hooking the new colour and pulling it through. Now you can just start the next stitch with the new colour completely if you'd rather do it that way. That's absolutely fine. But what you will find is it does look a little bit more stepped. So it will seem like one colour and then it'll be a step and then starting the new colour, so it doesn't look quite as fluid as this method. So you're simply doing the first half of the stitch where you go under the stitch and pull through in the old colour, and then you're just going to join your new colour and just do the second pull through in the new colour. Seems a little bit fiddly, but so again it's just practice. So we've now got 2 threads attached, so we're going to continue following the pattern, and the next section is we're going to be doing rows 8 to 25 is a double crochet in each stitch of 18 rounds. That's quite a lot of rounds, so do keep a little pen and paper and tally them up. But what I'm going to do is just show you how we continue now. So we've put down the thread for the old colour, and we're going to continue just with a double crochet in the new colour. So go under the V, under over, so we're just doing the new colour from now on, like that, and off we go. That's simple as that. And what we're going to do with the old colour is we're going to just tighten that a little bit. We don't want big loose stitches, we don't want them pulling really tight, so just pull them so the tension is very similar. We're going to cut the thread for the old colour, give it a couple of inches just so there's plenty, and then the end the loose end of both of the colours, we're just going to do a double knot at the back. So don't pull it so tight that it's really too tight and puckers the fabric. But don't do it so loose. You just want it so that it's exactly the same. So we're keeping them the same. So we're doing a double knot. You cut them off. Don't cut them really tight to your knot because that could unravel. And then we're just going to tuck those. Just cut them down to this length. And we're just going to tuck them inside. And that's it. It's knotted at the back to make sure they can't come unravelled. And then we will just continue with the new colour now for the number of rounds that it states, which is 18 rounds. And then I will come back to you at the end of those 18 rounds of just literally going round double crochet rounds, and I will show you how to fasten off Aimee's leg, and then we'll continue from there. Thank you very much. Oh, at this point it may be an idea just to stuff the hoof. You can wait until the end if you'd rather, but it can be a bit more fiddly when you're trying to do it and it's a very long way down, so you can stuff the hoof. So pop a bit of stuff in there. We like to stuff the hoof quite firmly so it keeps its shape. But again, not too firmly that it's rounded at the bottom. We're keeping that flat. So pop some stuffing in. Make sure it's full. But then flatten the bottom. So we're keeping a nice, firm, flat bottom. And then we'll keep on working round and round. And if you want to, you can stuff the leg as you go along. We're not going to stuff the leg very firmly, just quite loose. And then we're going to leave the top of the leg open, so empty of stuffing. So if we had it too fully stuffed, she would literally just fall over when we've sewn the legs on. So I will show you that when we get to the top and how to fasten off. I will see you soon.